and welcome to the special Haverhill Passport edition of the Haverhill Journal. I'm Tiffany Began-Stearns, filling in for Lindsay this week, and today I'm here to help you beat your summer boredom and become a tourist in your own city. It's no secret that Haverhill has plenty of interesting attractions, art installations, and historical sites, but when was the last time you visited one of them? That's where this booklet comes in. The Creative Haverhill Tourism Passport was designed to help you become a tourist in your own city and maybe even win a cool prize. I caught up with Creative Haverhill's Jenny Arndt to find out more about this really fun activity.
So the Haverhill Tourism Passport, it's a little booklet. The idea came about from some people on the Creative Haverhill board who have used this type of thing for state parks and things like that for fun stuff to do during the summer, and they thought, wouldn't this be cool for Haverhill? And so I was able to take the idea and we just ran with it and came up with this really cool concept of a booklet that families can use to go around in the summer in Haverhill and check out all the various assets that Haverhill has. At first we did kind of think of it as a family activity, but the more we realized was that there's a lot of young couples, there's a lot of senior couples, there's a lot of just people in Haverhill that don't have kids or singles or young millennials that want to find out more about our city, and so it's really for all ages. We wanted it to be something that everyone would enjoy. In the front, you can actually register your passport by scanning the QR code or going to the website, and when you register your passport, it signs you up for email updates of really cool activities going on at different passport destinations throughout the summer. We also have some passive recreational areas in here that you can check out, such as the new Bradford Rail Trail, the downtown Haverhill Boardwalk, and there's also some public art. I mentioned the Essex Street Gateway mural, and you can also drive around the city and find all of the shoes that Team Haverhill's Souls of Haverhill scattered about the city. If I had to pick a favorite, I can't, but I can narrow it down to a few. I really like Tattersall Farm. It has this very cute little playground area that I don't think people know about with some really fun slides. This is actually my daughter on the front sliding down one of the slides at Tattersall Farm. So I would definitely tell you, if you have kids, to check out Tattersall Farm. I'm also a little bit partial to the East Parish Meeting House. My grandparents grew up just a few houses down from there, and every Thanksgiving after we ate our dinner at my grandparents' house, our whole family would walk down the street and we'd have a race around the East Parish Meeting House. There are a few destinations in the passport booklet where there's not a person physically there to stamp it for you. So what you'll find is some activities that you can do or a trivia question that you'd only be able to answer if you were standing there. And so that's our way of letting you prove that you were there. And then we've given a full set of stamps to all of the destinations that have a staff person. So at Buttonwood Museum, at the Firefighting Museum, and at Whittier's Birthplace, you can go. They have an answer key. They'll check your answers and they'll make sure that you get that fun, unique stamp that you can only get at those destinations. So your incentive for filling in your passport booklet is the more you fill in, the more chances you have to win a big raffle prize. And anybody who participates is going to get a participation award. We like everybody to feel good about what they did, but the more you do, the more entries you get into our big River Ruckus raffle. So at River Ruckus, you can come turn in your passport, we'll check how many pages you filled in, and we'll enter your name into a raffle for a big prize that's yet to be announced. You can pick up a passport booklet at the Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce. They're our premier sponsor. We also have some at the City Clerk's office, at City Hall. We have them at the Creative Haverhill office on Wingate Street, as well as Positive Images Gallery, and of course HC Media has a few in their lobby as well. There's a few other destinations you can pick them up at. You can go to creativehaverhill.org and just click on the Haverhill Tourism Passport tab to find out where you can pick yours up. There's a lot of cool places. I hope you'll pick one up and check it out yourself.
Thanks, Jenny. Now that I know how this works, I'm gonna head out on my own adventure around the city and try to get my passport stamped. Let's go!
There are 11 different spots to visit on the map, and that doesn't include the Souls of Haverhill shoes or any of the festivals or markets. Since the Buttonwood Museum is open 6 days a week, I thought it would be a really good place to kick off this adventure.
Where's the best place to learn about Haverhill history? The Buttonwood Museum, of course. It's operated by the Haverhill Historical Society and features a collection of over 10,000 items, including household artifacts, artwork, and clothing. And the exhibits are always rotating, so you never know what you're going to find here.
If you do check out Buttonwoods this summer, you can experience everything from the intricate style of 19th century clothing and shoes, to an exhibit featuring Monopoly games from the past, to a free drop-in games program on Tuesday mornings. And make sure you see a staff member during your visit to get your stamp.
Thank you! Guys, I just got my first stamp. Did you know that Buttonwoods was also Nathaniel Saltonstall's homestead? Our crew was here a few weeks ago for a preview performance of an upcoming show called Saltonstall's Trial.
Satan himself has settled in at Salem like a beast. In a strange lair he finds to his liking.
I will chase him out. As God is my witness, he will rue the day that he ever set foot in this land.
This is no...
My name is Michael Cormier, and I am a long-time writer and a long-time actor, actually. I've been acting for about 20 years. This is my first play. It's called Nathaniel's Trial, and it's going to follow Nathaniel Saltonstall from May of 1692 until the fall of 1692, when the witch trials start to die down. The focus with him was a man who has a crisis of conscience, where he has to decide between what will be best for him and what is the right thing to do.
What's interesting about the Saltonstall side of things is that Saltonstall was the only judge who stood up against the witch trials, and in doing so he jeopardized not only his career but to a certain extent his life, as he knew very well that by doing this he himself be accused of being a witch. It's very relevant to today. It brings to the fore moral conundrums. Where do we stand? What is real? What is unreal?
Well, I've worked with the director, Marion Sear, before, and I told her, I said, if you have anything for me, let me know. So I was thrilled when she called me up, offered me to be a part of this production. Thinking of this gentleman who, as our director says, was kind of the voice of sanity, age, sagacity, trying to counsel his son-in-law about, trying to see things in perspective and not from one side or the other.
I would sum up to only this: tread lightly with matters you have only known from up close or far away, yet not both. Satan is a clever opponent with methods not always understood.
The play takes place in Haverhill to begin with, and then the scene that's actually going to be read is going to be scene 3, and they have a conversation under the worshiping oak, which is the tree that just fell about 3 months ago, right about 50 feet from here.
This tree served as our first place of worship. Here on this river shore, a handful of good men prayed each Sabbath. This tree gave us a point of meeting and what shelter it could provide when there were no other place for meeting.
I have a passion for historical pieces. We've done quite a bit of that with Black Box Lab. They're some of the most popular things we've done. And so when this one came about, the fact that it was connected to the wider Haverhill, and I say that because it really involves Danvers and Salem and Haverhill and southern New Hampshire and all kinds of things. I mean, I didn't even know the Buttonwood Museum was their homestead, and the worshiping oak was here. I mean, to me, it was so exciting to find this out. Yeah.
And I'm on the move again, and this time it's to Merrimack Street to take a stroll on the Boardwalk. Downtown Haverhill is experiencing a much-needed revitalization, and the Boardwalk is just one of the many projects happening in this area.
Artist? I am not, and unfortunately for me, the activity down here is to draw a picture of a bridge that I can see from my spot on the Haverhill Boardwalk. This place is awesome. It opened in September of 2016, and it starts behind Harbor Place and goes all the way down to behind Haverhill Bank. And there are some awesome, awesome views of the Merrimack River. I know I haven't seen the river like this before. Have you? Maybe you should come down with your passport book and draw a better picture of a bridge than I just did. Now that I've earned another stamp, let's take a trip over to the east side of Haverhill. Now this part of the city is definitely worth a visit. The neighborhoods are less populated, the roads are winding and narrow, and you'll feel like you're in a small town rather than within city limits. And you'll find this beautiful meeting house on Middle Road. Since Jenny said this was one of her favorite places listed in the booklet, I thought I'd stop by. The East Parish Meeting House is on Middle Road on the east side of the city. This house was built in 1838 and was used for church services up until 1906. In 2014, they completed an extensive restoration process in here, but the interior of the building remains mostly untouched from the 19th century. It's pretty cool, except not on a day like today when it's 90 degrees outside. Harder than you think.
After you've rung the bell and done the activity at the East Parish Meeting House, it's time to take a short drive to the John Greenleaf Whittier birthplace.
Famous Haverhill abolitionist and author of the poem Snowbound, John Greenleaf Whittier, used to live here. Of course, he doesn't anymore, but you can still come visit the site where he grew up. And if you come visit, you can get another stamp in your passport booklet.
Not only can you visit the place where Whittier was born, you can also take a walk on the Freeman Memorial Trail and visit some of the locations that Whittier referred to in his poetry.
And those are just a few of the sites that are part of Creative Haverhill's Tourism Passport. Now get your copy and get out there, because if I can do this, so can you. For the Haverhill Journal, I'm Tiffany Beegan Stearns. See you next time.